Hey, Daniel, good to have you with us today.
Great to be here, man.
Thanks. Tell us a little bit about who you are and what you do.
So my name is Daniel Eisenbarth. I am the owner, co-founder, and CEO slash head trainer of a company called Global Mind Dynamics. We are an executive coaching company that emphasizes within the automotive world. And so that's everything from a dealership company to a warranty company or administrator. And what we do is we come in and we help train those businesses on having a more effective culture. We see in that industry high turnover, very high volumes of turnover. So what our promise is, we'll come in and improve your new hire attrition by 50% or more within 6 to 12 months. And we will also improve your bottom line by 30% or more within 6 to 12 months. And so we do everything from the top all the way down to the janitor, making sure that the culture is cohesive and aligned with the vision.
Got it. Well, it sounds like you're adding a lot of value to the automotive industry. And
Yeah,
tell
that's the outcome.
and tell us a little bit more about. I know you've got a lot of work on your plate. You got a lot of things that are pulling on your time. Tell us a little bit more about your past experience. I think you tried to hire an assistant before, and tell us how that's different, how that's compared to working with us.
Yeah, I was hiring a lot of different freelancers from time to time because one of the ways that we led to you guys is we were part of our products is we have a learning management system. And I discovered quickly that as an entrepreneur, I'm not the tech guy. And I needed somebody who could help build a course so we can improve the onboarding experience for these businesses that we're helping improve their overall culture. And so I hired two different people at one point, and the first person just gave me poor quality overall, or it was decent quality, but it wasn't necessarily what I was looking for. The second person actually stole money from me, so I didn't actually get any results, and I had to track it down, that person down legally to get the money back. So then I was referred to you guys by a good friend of mine, and it was a night and day experience as far as just the quality of the work, the communication of what's going on if a project isn't done yet or if it is the percentage of completion, et cetera, et cetera. So it was a night and day experience from the job.
Nice. I'd love to hear that. And tell me a little bit more about some of the specific things that you've really liked or enjoyed about working with Mark and his process.
Yeah, so one is because my situation was very unique in the sense that due to not necessarily having all of the content organized right away, it was a little bit of a slower start. And that wasn't because of Mark or you guys. It was, again, just a learning experience. However, there was that patience where Mark was able to give me, hey, if you give me these things, I can make this done very quickly. So one was having a little bit of a guidance because part of it is if anyone who's listening to this has ever tried to make an LMS for the first time, you don't know what you don't know. So you're not really sure what is needed and what is not needed. You just have all the content up here. And so there was a little bit of help with just being guided of if you give me these things, then I can put it together more effectively. The communication was the biggest thing. I mean, my company is based off that. It's based off communicating, helping teams improve in communication. So that was a big one for me on, hey, this is done because of this, and this isn't done because of this. And here's how many hours I've worked each week. Here's where I've put the hours of work each week. Seeing that as a business owner allows you to know where the investment is going. So it gives you a little bit of peace of mind that I didn't make a poor choice. I didn't make a bad investment, which I think the name of the game in business is make as minimal of stupid investments as possible and make as many good investments as you can. So the having that communication of here's what I'm doing, here's what I'm not doing. The other piece was if I didn't necessarily know how to provide the guidance, there was, okay, I'll figure it out. And all I had to provide was the vision. This is what I'm looking for. And it's a lot more of a collaborative interaction versus, okay, I'm going to do this much of work and then I'm done, versus seeing the bigger picture and saying, okay, I get now, this is the product you're wanting to roll out. Have you thought of these things? So the collaboration is one, knowing when I say no, I want it this way, and just like, cool. And also knowing when to say, hey, have you considered doing it this way instead? So you feel like you got a little bit more of a partner versus just an assistant. Because I think notoriously assistants, you tell them what to do and you just say, okay, bye. Whereas instead, I got more of someone who's going to give me a little bit more of a pitch and catch. And the final thing I would say is patience. So as you and I both were talking prior, is sometimes when you're running a business or attempting to start a business, you get a little behind on following up and responding. And he's been very patient, having friendly nudges of reminders like, hey, just checking in. When do you want to meet again? And he's had excellent patience with that. So I think when you put all that together, it's a dream situation for most entrepreneurs, solopreneurs, or business owners.
Nice. Love to hear that. Thanks so much, Daniel. And tell me a little bit more about how that's changed your life or your mindset. Has it freed up time for you to think? Has it just relieved stress? Or what are some of those more emotional benefits that you've received?
Oh, that's a great question. The LMS was a piece of our product line that I knew we needed to get done and was a little more overwhelming. So probably led to a little bit more procrastination on my end in the beginning until the aha moment of, okay, who or what can I leverage to get this done faster? And by the time I had you guys involved and I was seeing some of the progression, the deadline in my mind got kind of deteriorated a little bit more to where I'm getting good quality. I know it's going to get done and I'm seeing progress happening. I don't have to worry about this anymore. I can rely on someone. And I think in business, and you probably know this too, you're always challenging that state of mind of not worrying and being more focused on what can I control. So knowing that I have a piece of my business that is handled by someone I can trust and learn to like as well, that is, it allows me to operate a lot more effectively in my business, which in turn earns more money, which in turn makes my life better. So it's so simple and small, but it's amazing when you find the right person to do the role that you need them to do.
Nice. Very well said. And last question, what would you say to somebody who's on the fence thinking about getting assistant, wondering whether or not it's worth the investment?
It's if we're going to quantify the investment as far as financial commitment, my counter to that, and this is coming from someone who doesn't really have a lot in the bank to give. I mean, I'm early on myself. We were just talking about my business isn't even profitable yet. However, it's getting very close within its first year because of some of these investment decisions I've made, that we can't just look at money as the only quantifiable monetary piece of this equation. We have to look at also the time, not just the time to get the project done, but the emotional time of fighting your own internal battles. Is there's it's tough to really put an actual price when you compare the two. So I would challenge someone who's on the fence of, how much time are you going to save? And is time money? And is money the root of every business? And if the answer is obvious, those are obvious yes questions. When I got to see results within the first 30 days, I mean, you got a money back guarantee right there. So at least give it a try and then test drive it, and you'll see for yourself. You'll let the results speak for themselves.
Love that. Well, thanks so much, Daniel. Really appreciate it. And it's been awesome working with you so far. And we'll look forward to working with you many years to come.
Yes, right back at you. Thank you.